Afternoon, world. This is Global Farmers Connect, and today we have.
Tatenda, Marume.
All right, Tatenda, can you just tell us a little bit about where you're from, what you do, and what company you present?
My name is Tatenda. Like I said, I am from Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Representing Zimtrade,
Uh-huh.
National Trade Development Body of Zimbabwe. So we are here to Food Logistica. We have facilitated the participation of Zimbabwean companies that are here.
Uh-huh.
We have 10 companies that are exhibiting.
Okay.
And we have 20 that have come in as visitors to the show.
Okay.
So it's been really exciting in terms of the opportunities that are available for our local farmers based in Zimbabwe.
Ah, fantastic. Now, have you been participating the past couple of years, or is this your first year actually doing this, Magashtangarini and things like that?
We have been participating for some time now.
Okay.
From 2018, so
Okay.
pre-COVID times, and the fact that we keep on coming back here means that Food Logistica is really working for us in terms of opening opportunities for our farmers.
Ah, fantastic. Now, in terms of our Zim farmers, what would you say to them to encourage them, in terms of making a profit, in terms of productivity, now that you've been here a few years?
I would say the market is there.
Uh-huh.
The world is ready to take our products.
Uh-huh.
We just have to work to make sure that we produce the right volumes and the quality that the market is looking for.
Fantastic. Now, I don't know if you can discuss figures roughly or estimates of where we used to be last year in terms of, our farmers, fruit and veggie, and where we are now. Would you say that we are actually improving, or we need to improve more, or I don't know?
We are actually improving in terms of both the volume
Okay.
that we are exporting, as well as the markets that we are exporting.
Okay.
This is like a global playing space in terms of markets.
Great.
So from here, we have also managed to export into other countries like the Middle East.
Okay.
We are now also exporting into Far East, and our products are also available even in Southeast Asia.
Fantastic.
So, the future is looking promising for Zimbabwe.
Okay, that's brilliant. So what would you say our best sort of produce to export is at the moment, and how can we help other farmers in terms of exporting, in terms of the certification like Global Gap and things like that? How can we assist them, or guide them kuti vazive zvekurima and things like that?
So I think because of our
So the question that we're asking, you were talking about having connections and exporting to Middle East. So what crops or what produce would you say that we are currently actually supplying, and how can we sort of like guide our farmers, into these positions?
So I was saying, because of our ecological makeup, Zimbabwe has got a big advantage.
Okay.
We have a microclimate that is unique, so it gives us the ability to grow and export quite a number of our products. And if you can tell your camera, some of the products are here on display here at Food Logistica.
Okay.
Avocados, we are exporting avocados into the EU, into the Middle East.
Okay.
And as you are aware, the global plantings are behind the growth in demand.
Okay.
Citrus, whether it's oranges or lemons and limes, again they are in demand.
Okay.
We have products such as blueberries, which are like the poster boy for superfoods. Zimbabwe is one of the key producers as well. But there are other products, like your traditional products that we have always been exporting.
Okay.
Products such as your mash too and sugar snake peas, products such as passion fruit. So the basket is quite wide. We also are looking at products such as macadamia and nuts, which we are also exporting significantly into the global market.
Okay, fantastic. Now, there has been issues that normally happen in Zimbabwe in terms of if one farmer does something, everybody wants to do the same, which obviously brings down the value of that that fruit or that veg, what sort of advice would you give farmers in terms of what they need to grow seasonally and how they can, expand?
So I would say when you get into exports,
Okay. Okay.
So export, you start with the market.
Okay.
You need to make sure that you secure the market before you actually put and that's why we are here as Zimtrade, for market information, so that when you are making a decision, you are making an evidence-based decision that will not obviously require.
Okay, fantastic. Now, in terms of, you've just mentioned something about the market, which is really interesting. A lot of farmers struggle with access to markets, but not just access to markets. How do they export when they don't have the Global Gap certification? Could you please tell, our farmers, because a lot of farmers are really nervous that it's quite expensive in terms of getting the certification, how to get help, and by the time that they need the market, they have already failed.
It's a challenge because this is a market requirement.
Yeah.
I don't see market competition.
Okay.
But I see it as a tool for market access.
Okay.
So for certain markets, especially the high value markets, they are particular on global content.
Yeah.
So you find that in the EU, to just focus on the EU, 90% of the that is coming in
Right.
so if they're not certified, then you lose your own 10%.
Exactly.
Which makes it a little bit difficult for them. But maybe what one can do is there are certain markets that are less suited for some of these market access requirements.
Okay.
Because there are certain markets that might just require your regulatory compliance issues, like phytosanitary certificates. You can start with those and then graduate into the premium markets that are requiring your global certification.
Okay, fantastic. So is there any way that, obviously at the end of this short clip, we're going to provide you details for those who need, to reach out if possible. But as you mentioned that there is always certain certification that is required in order for you to export. Now, in order for, say, the layman farmer, how do they start from, okay, fine, Dinembe Yangu, this is me. Who can they reach out to try and get the certification? Do they come to you or do they look for Global Gap agents? What do they do?
So, like I said, as Zimtrade, we are there to assist existing farmers, potential farmers who want to get into exports.
Okay.
We'll give them the information and point them in the right direction.
Okay.
There are various models that our farmers that are just starting up can use to get access into exports.
Okay.
Sometimes it might be very difficult to go on your own.
Yeah.
So we are talking about consolidating and exporting as groups.
Okay.
And as an organization, we are working on what we call export clusters, where we are putting together like-minded people doing the same products, build critical mass, do good certification, and then export.
Okay.
Sometimes it might be prudent to work through credible marketing agencies that already have a track record in some of these markets.
Okay.
That can be a journey to yourself exporting independently, but you can start working with others in the beginning.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so as an organization, as Global Farmers Connect, which is the company that we represent, we're here now. We've got over 15,000 active farmers on our platforms right round. As you know, business is normally done in Zimbabwe through WhatsApp. So we've got various WhatsApp groups with various farmers. Vajinji Vachona, they have to turn around to us. They want markets. They want even local ones. Let's go back to local. Let's go back to home. How can we help them, attain where to go to or how to go about things like that? Because as we know, the biggest sort of like market in Zimbabwe is Marume. And that's where everybody goes to, but ukatadza kutengesa zvinhu zvako, you know what, things are going to go bad. So what we've done as a company, we've introduced obviously added edition kune zvinhu zvavo, you know, if you can dry your stuff, gadzirisa zvimwe zvinhu. Do you guys offer certain services that you know, our farmers can come to you guys and say kuti tiri panapa tikuda kubatsirwawo here kana kuti, what advice can you give?
Okay, thanks. So I might not be able to answer authoritatively about the local market, because the mandate of our organization is more on exports. Okay. But in terms of support, obviously we start with those that are active on the local market.
Great.
Upgrade them. And sometimes upgrading them means also making sure that they are more competitive on the domestic.
Yes.
Because your local competence is a springboard into exports.
Great.
So in terms of the support, yes, we do capacity building. These are the trainings that we're talking about. We do technical interventions, sometimes going on the farm, giving advice to the potential exporters. We have partnerships with other organizations, like for instance, we have an MOU with whom from the Netherlands, which is a senior expert placement organization. Okay. They offer their services on a voluntary basis. So they can come to your farm or visit a group of farmers and give you advice in terms of what needs to be done. But you know, this is not just about farming, but this is a business. And there are so many disciplines also along the way. So we look at even aspects such as packaging, logistics, your marketing skills and everything like that. We train and do capacity building on all those issues.
Ah, fantastic. So the farmers that you normally require, could that be any farmer, or do you have a minimum sort of requirement in terms of hectarage, etc.?
Everyone is a potential exporter.
Okay.
We are in the age of the SMEs.
Yeah.
We have what we call multinationals.
Yeah.
People sometimes that employ 5 people but are exporting globally.
Yeah.
So we cannot use size to discriminate against anyone.
Okay.
But obviously we look at the circumstances around in terms of what's best for you as an individual. Is it possible to put you together with others and stuff like that, build a cluster like I had highlighted earlier on, so that you also build, that competitiveness that comes with, mass. For instance, if these are agricultural commodities, some of them they are a volumes game. Yeah. So we then put those models. But to answer you, no, we do not discriminate in terms of size. The size. Some of the countries that are exporting the largest volumes of fresh produce are the smallest countries in terms of size. Okay. So I think as a country, what we have is actually enough.
Okay, that's fantastic. So, so what we do as a company, like we said, we connect farmers to consumers, to exports. Different services. So we want to stick to what your guys' forte is, which is basically the export side of things. Now, how can we help our farmers sort of like get your services? What advice can you give them? Where can they go to once they've watched this?
So let me talk about general accessibility. Yeah. You can follow us on X. We are very active on X in terms of the events that we do. We disseminate information via X, Facebook, as well as LinkedIn. Okay. You can also be in touch with our team. Okay. I will share my details with you so that we have that connection. Great. But it will always be good to have a structured program. Yeah. Since you are already a structured group of people. Yeah. I would say first things first, we might need just to do an export awareness. Okay. Share the opportunities that are available and how one can get access to those opportunities. You take your time and see what works for you, and then we have a discussion in terms of a follow-up discussion in terms of what are the practical steps that we now need to do from one to start to practically get into exports.
Fantastic. So what we also do is we do conferences, we do learning expos, either via online or, you know, we could have, we did the last one was on food standards in Zimbabwe. Is this something that we can incorporate with you guys and get our farmers Kutibaita attend to these conferences? Is that something that we could do? It could be done. Fantastic. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We've had this lovely man here, Mr. Tatenda Marume. Yes, all the way from Zimtrade. He has shared his information, his knowledge. So if you guys want to export or you want to do anything else, please don't be afraid to reach out. Thank you very much. Cheers.